1, 3. Looking at number 1, when you have to describe a rule for the pattern, make sure you look at the numbers. Are we adding or subtracting, multiplying, dividing the same number from each term? And don't forget to describe that rule. On your quiz, it may ask you to also identify the next term in the pattern. For 2 and 3, when you have to name the property of real numbers, make sure you study your notes from chapter 1 and make sure you know all of the different types of properties. Remember, distributive is anytime you have a number out front of your parenthesis, you need to distribute or multiply through that entire parenthesis. You have to distribute both terms. And remember, commutative is when you have the same numbers in just different places. When you're writing an algebraic expression to model the word phrase for number 4 and 5, make sure you remember what more than, less than, greater than, the difference, the quotient, what number or letter they are talking about. Okay, so for more than a number b, so b would be your number, and we're adding 4 to it. For 5, the quotient of the difference between 5 and a number n, so the difference between 5 and that number, and 2. The and part is always the number that goes on the bottom of your fraction. For number 6 and 7, you have to evaluate the expression for the given value of the variable. Remember to rewrite the whole equation and put in parentheses. And then all you have to do is fill in the values for m and n, and you can just plug that straight into your calculator and you should get negative 12. And the same thing for 7. For 8 and 9, again, if you don't know that the square root of 16 is a whole number, it's 4, type it in your calculator and get the approximate decimal answer for like the square root of 38 to figure out if it's less than, greater than. And then 10 through 13, combining like terms. Remember, to combine like terms, you have to have the same variable raised to the same power in order to combine them together. If you notice here, we're adding up a fraction and a whole number, so you need to have common denominators. So our common denominator would be 2. You'd have to put this over 1 and multiply top and bottom by 2, which gives you 4 over 2, and adding those up. Looking at number 11, notice how your parentheses are the same. So all you have to do is combine your like terms on the outside of those parentheses. And notice how they are fractions, so we need to get common denominators and figure that out, combine like terms, and you should get negative 7/12, and again your parenthesis is the same. For number 12, don't forget to distribute through. And 13, again, combine like terms, so your z squared terms and your z terms, but again you're adding up fractions, so you have to get common denominators.